my name is Dr. Julian Silva, and today I'm answering your frequently asked questions. And a common question that I get asked is, how do you choose your rhinoplasty surgeon? Well, rhinoplasty, or a nose job procedure, is really regarded as the most complex cosmetic procedure that can be performed on the entire human body. And this is for a number of reasons, but it requires both complex technical surgical knowledge in order to perform excellent surgery, and it also requires a great deal of artistry in the eyes of the surgeon in order to perform that surgery with your facial characteristics. And so with rhinoplasty, you do need to do some research into identifying who that surgeon is who's going to be able to do the best possible job for you. And I'm going to give you a few ideas that will help you with that decision process. So firstly, rhinoplasty is really a surgery of millimeters, and the difference between a nose that's a little out of character with your face, that's a little wide, a little too large, is a matter of millimeters. And so it's really a refinement of your nose that will give you a natural looking result and one that's more in facial balance with your face. And so unlike, say, body surgery, that's surgery of centimeters, whether that's breast surgery or liposuction, rhinoplasty can be quite different to that kind of surgery. And I would encourage you to look for a surgeon who specializes in facial cosmetic and facial plastic surgery. Secondly, I'd look for a surgeon who does a great deal of rhinoplasty, someone whose practice is based around rhinoplasty and is performing that surgery on a regular basis. Every surgeon will have a certain aesthetic, a certain degree of artistry, and so it's important that when you're looking at refining your nose that you look for a surgeon who has a similar aesthetic to you. And for me, for my patients, my aim is to give them a natural looking result, one that is in balance with their facial characteristics, their ethnicity, their height, and many other criteria. And a good way to do that is to look at surgeons before and after photographs and see whether that fits your aesthetic and what you're looking for. Another factor that is relatively novel is speaking to patients who've undergone the actual surgery. And certainly for patients who come to see me who are particularly nervous and anxious about rhinoplasty, I encourage them to speak to one or more of my patients who've undergone the surgery in order to have some reassurance and get more of an appreciation of what the surgery will involve and the recovery period. And if you are seeing a surgeon and you have some of those concerns, I would encourage you to ask your surgeon to speak to some of his patients. Another factor that would be worth looking at is whether your potential surgeon specializes more in cosmetic surgery or reconstructive surgery. And certainly reconstructive plastic surgery, which is focused around repair of the body after trauma and tumor and other functional causes, is not quite the same as cosmetic surgery. And if you're looking for refinement of your nose, I'd suggest you look for someone who really specializes in the cosmetic element of this type of surgery. Another characteristic which is important to consider is revision surgery. And rhinoplasty is a complex surgery, and any surgeon who's performing rhinoplasty will have a revision rate. And a large part of my practice is revision surgery. 20 to 30% of all the patients that I treat for rhinoplasty have had surgery elsewhere. And that can be in the UK or can be outside the UK. And one question that you can ask your potential surgeon is what his revision rate is and in what situation and what would be the outcome from that. And any surgeon will have a revision rate, but you certainly want that rate to be fairly low. We live in a very transparent world, and there's a lot of information out there through sources such as the internet, and you're able in the modern world to look up your surgeon, identify from reviews how that surgeon looks after his patients and what their results are like. And that is something that you can do from home before you even meet your surgeon. So I hope that some of the information that I've given you has been useful, and certainly rhinoplasty, or a nose job procedure, is an important procedure because the nose sits in the center of your face and there's no hiding from that. And so I would encourage you to do some research in identifying the best rhinoplasty surgeon for you. And I hope this information has been useful, and good luck in your search.